Alright, well, I haven't made a video in a while, and it is right after Christmas, and I'm going to be doing some work around the kitchen and talking at the same time. I'm going to have to say, God, I don't know, I think it's been close to 8 months to a year. It's been over a year since I made a video about, what's going on with Parkinson's, so I figure I'll set this up while I'm putting dishes away and everything. My wife and I went to Eagles game where we watched the Eagles beat the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys, which was a lot of fun. So, but anyway, this is the after effects of the next day. We just got home and crashed. I didn't put anything away, so I'm going to do the dishes, and this way you'll see how my movement also has been affected, and what's been going on with. I mean, like right now, I can tell my face tends to go down a lot. My face is freezing more. My walk and my movement is much more difficult. I am getting brain surgery in 2 years. I can't lay this 2 years. 2 months. So, but it's trying not to make as much noise as I can here. But you see my left hand is tucking in, and my legs tend to twitch a lot. It's just been so hard to move lately, and I had a pre-existing condition of anxiety and depression, which I've always managed to, more anxiety than anything. I've always managed to keep that under control because whenever I would get depressed or anxious or something, I would move. Knives, scary. You see right away now I have an anxiety about looking at these knives and stuff like that, because it's how it goes. I mean, Parkinson's has increased my anxiety tenfold. Not because, I don't think it's because of anything brain chemistry like, but I think it's because of the fact that when you get up to roll out of bed, an ordinary person rolls out of bed. And people with Parkinson's don't. We need help. I need help getting out of bed, meaning I have to kind of rock myself out of bed, grab one of the bedpost, stumble into the bathroom and miss, if you know what I mean, as a guy. Because it's really hard when you're trying to do that stuff. I'm not happy about this. I thought that this was going to be a little bit slower, and I could take my time. I mean, I could take time doing things, continue physical therapy. A big part of what screwed me up was I got COVID. And this variant that's going around a while ago, I'd say maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, knocked me on my ass. And I mean, I didn't get out of bed. I didn't do anything. I kept testing positive. And because I kept testing positive, my wife couldn't be near me because, she works with the elderly, and the last thing she wants to do is get them sick. So, I didn't see much of her. So she couldn't wait on me. And the same thing, an adult daughter who lives with us, she couldn't help me out because she just landed a great new gig, and I wasn't asking her to do all this shit for me, But for the most part, I was bedbound, and I couldn't do anything, and when nobody was around the house. See, part of the problem, too, is we have pets here. And they're quite lazy. Reggie, Maggie. I'm dogs. Anyway, you don't... If they're around you, are they spreading COVID to your family anyway? So, you have that, and so much I mean, but it really did. It knocked me out to the point where I had no energy, no strength to get out of bed, and I had enough energy to go up, take a shower, and then go back to sleep. And we know, for those of us with Parkinson's, lack of movement makes this shit 10 times worse. So, I stopped going to my physical therapy. I stopped going to physical therapy because my physical therapist was pregnant, and I didn't want anything happening to her. So I'm staying away from her. I started doing something called occupational therapy, which is utilizing your hands, typing. They give you Play-Doh. And for some reason, something got screwed up on that. And I wound up getting... my insurance didn't approve it anymore because I guess the guy who doing it says I've been doing pretty well. So, which is really stupid because anything that's Parkinson's related, that's considered physical therapy, you're never getting better. You know what I mean? This isn't a disease where you can start getting better, you know what I mean, and recovering from. You know, it's all downhill. Philly shot glass. Not me. That's the sad part too, because I can't drink. I used to love a glass of wine or a can of beer or something like that. I have found that when I have that, I can't move at all. Even if I had a ride. You know, we had an Uber one day, we went out and I had a beer or two, and I tell you, man, I was just done. So I'm kind of forgetting I'm losing track of what I have to do here now. But the anxiety is so much worse because I'm having so much difficulty moving, and I start getting disassociated. I start to forget a lot of things. Even though I'm still doing things around the house, maintenance-wise, you know, I installed a TV on the wall, hooked some new ceiling fan in my bedroom and shit like that. I'm still able to do that stuff. But I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm of the mindset, and this is terrible, that, you know, I used to be able to do that stuff no problem. Now there's difficulty doing it. So then I put myself down. Oh, you used to be able to do that in an hour. Like, it would take me an hour to put in a ceiling fan, as opposed to the one I just put in took me like 3 hours. Well, I need constant breaks. I need somebody to help me, and there's all this other stuff. I'm not cutting myself any slack, so I'm making myself feel worse about things I can't do. And I do see a therapist who did tell me, he said I'm trying to remember how he worded it, but it was something like the fact that your 50% is my 100%. Because my therapist is, you know, he gets home and he tells me, he says he kicks back, puts the TV on, has a beer, relaxes, goes over some files. Something's broken in the car, he gets it fixed. He doesn't fix it himself. Whereas, frankly, I don't have the money to fix it. So, but today's oh, and the other thing is, to embellish about the anxiety, see, anxiety and depression tend to hate a moving target. So when I was at least working, I had my mind distracted away from itself. So, for example, I used to do HVAC work, commercial work, so I was climbing ladders, fixing wiring, changing compressors, air filters, everything else, while my phone was going off and I was talking to somebody else, and Had a coworker with me, so my mind was constantly occupied. Right now, I'm not doing any of that stuff. It's cold. My wife is not here. She's at work. My daughter is not here. She's at work. I am by myself with my 2 dogs, who are now sleeping. I just walked the dogs, and I said a little chit-chat to the neighbors. And I'm looking at my house in the distance, and I'm like, I gotta get home. Why? Seriously, why? If you have panic and anxiety disorder, and home's a safe place for you. I mean, I know that I've had anxiety for so long that I know how to get out of it. I know that home's not a safe place. In my head, I have it as my safe place. My wife's not my safe person. My kids aren't my safe people. Things like that. Had I not gone to the Eagles game yesterday, that would have made things really bad because I would have avoided something out of anxiety. Not because I was feeling physically sick because of Parkinson's or my legs are really sore anymore, stuff like that. If I avoid something because of its anxiety, I have to do it. If I all of a sudden get behind the wheel of the car and I start panicking and I start getting scared, I have to continue going on what I'm doing to show my stupid, anxious mind that there's nothing to worry about. But the problem I'm facing now is it's constant. I don't sleep very well. I'm having repeated panic attacks. I've had some Lulus of panic attacks. And I remember reading a book about panic and anxiety disorder where the woman said she used to get panic attacks like crazy, and she still does to this day. She's in her mid-80s. Claire Weeks was her name, if you never had a chance to look up anything about her, but she gets panic attacks when she was in her mid-80s. The problem is, she looked at them as just a couple little chemicals out of whack and never thought anything else of it and went about her day. But that's what I'm trying to do, but it's really difficult because I start to get scared because I start thinking, this is Parkinson's now. And what if it gets worse? What if I can't leave the house? What if I can't go to get the surgery done? What if my wife leaves me over this stuff? I have to be brutally honest because I don't know who watches these videos. It takes a special person to watch somebody to take care of somebody with Parkinson's. And I'm not saying my wife's a terrible caregiver. I'm saying that I'm a terrible patient. Because when it's hard for me to do something and I'm having a really, really bad day, I don't do a whole lot. Coupled with, she'll work 12, 14 hours one day, and we're not getting any younger. And she'll come home, see the things that I didn't see the gigantic, which you can't see here, the ginormous pile of dishes. I mean, it's so easy for me to just sit back, watch TV, and Netflix and chill all day. But seriously, I mean, if you work hard all day, at a point in your life when you were expecting to start chilling all day and being a little bit more relaxed, and future, we have potential wedding coming up, and grandchildren possibly on the way after that, who knows. You kind of thought you were going to start relaxing at this age, and she is working harder and harder. And of course, I'm on disability, which is paying half of what I used to make. So we're barely making it by. This doesn't help. God. Yeah, speaking of pregnancy. But for a couple that rarely fought, we fight a lot now about that stuff, and I'm not proud of that. It sucks. You know, I really care about this person, and for us to be fighting and arguing over petty shit. Why didn't you do the dishes? Well, because I'm having an off day. Well, if you had an off day, why'd you cut the grass? Do you know what I mean? Things like that. Well, I cut the grass because it looked terrible. So why didn't you wait until the next day to cut the grass? Do you know what I mean? It's stupid shit like that. Why didn't you get light salad dressing? It's just arguing over dumb shit. And I hate that because we never did that. And it's definitely frustrating. And all that walking I did yesterday around the stadium, I think really messed with my psyche because I had a hard time going to sleep. I had a hard time staying asleep. I had a hard time getting up. And when I did get up, boy, oh boy, was I clobbered with one monstrous anxiety attack. My wife's getting ready for work, and it would be nice if I could say to her, hey, can you give me a hug, or, you know, I need something because I'm having a bad anxiety morning. That worries her, and now she's going to be at work worrying about me, so I don't want her to worry about me. So I acted as if, and I wore the mask, and I said everything's fine. I just had a rough night sleeping. Which is true. And, you know, you go to think about before I'm going to bed, I'm trying to think about the fun game that we watched. And the enjoyment we got out of it. And the memory that was made, and the positive memory that was made. So I just threw a spoon in my dishwasher and it bounced out of the spoon rack and down to where I have to bend over and get it. Now my back hurts. So I'm trying to focus on the positive stuff about this ball game that we went to, and how we beat the shit out of Dallas, which is always great. And my mind started trailing somewhere else. And that's the problem. Instead of focusing on that positive, it started trailing somewhere else. I started thinking about a TV that I bought, and I can't get it hooked up in the upstairs room. I can't get my phone to cast. Right now, trivial things. My wife's Facebook got hacked. So, we're trying to figure that out now. I walk my dogs. It's, as you can tell, beautiful sunny day, sun's coming in. I walk my dogs. My dog started barking at a neighbor, and I'm like, he's never done that before, you know? What the hell's that all about? So then that spooked me. I'm so sensitive right now. I'm worried about every little thing. I'm worried about my wife getting upset with me for missing something around the house. That's pathetic. You know? It's just a shitty disease. And I tell you, I'm not religious. But if there is an afterlife, I'd really like to find out why this stuff, shit like this, and ALS, and MSA, and childhood cancer, and all that stuff is around. Because it shouldn't be. I mean, these are just terrible diseases to have. And I cannot wait till I get this brain surgery. How about that? How often you hear people saying, I can't wait to get brain surgery. I can't wait to get brain surgery. I am trying my best. I'm expanding my friendship circle. I went to a high school reunion, so I'm trying to keep in contact with people I went to high school with. And that's a lot of fun. That's actually kind of fun. I'm trying to be more sociable. I do need to get back into a boxing class. I do need to go back out and start talking to people to get my head out of itself. Okay, because this cesspool of madness will eat itself alive if I let it. So I got to get back into doing some PT. I got to get back in. It's all going to change at the beginning of the year. I'm supposed to be getting some new health insurance plan or some shit like that. But anyway, let's get back to the dishes. Ugh. I gotta take the trash out. I gotta start the laundry. And I tell you, my wife was a stay-at-home mom for a little bit with kids. And I used to think, man, what's there to do at home? You just watch the kids and watch TV. Jeez. I will never, ever think that again, because this is hard. I don't even have kids. I just got dogs to walk. And the dishes seem like they're every day. The laundry seems like it's every day. It's just the two of us. So, till the next video, which I should have done my brain surgery done by then. Peace out, yo.